Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Pretty Brown Vegan, the place for plant-based comfort foods. If y'all new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. Today, we're gonna go ahead and get into these vegan chorizo tacos. They are too bomb, and I made them alongside this fire restaurant-style Mexican queso. They're too easy and too cheesy, okay? If y'all enjoy this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and stay tuned so I can show you how to get this done. So I feel like it's not giving Mexican style anything without some Pico de Gallo. In my opinion, need a little homemade Pico de Gallo to set this cheese and queso off right. So we're gonna go ahead and start by dicing up our veggies for the pico. I am using some tomatoes. For the tomatoes, I am only using the outside of the tomato, the part that doesn't have all of the mushiness and the seeds going on. So we're just gonna go ahead and dice that tomato up like we do a bell pepper when you just, shave the outside off and go ahead and give it a little dice. The rest of that tomato I saved to put me on a salad or something later. Just go ahead and use the outside of this tomato and dice it up. So we're also going to put some fresh jalapeno into this pico. For me, on the jalapeno, the spiciest side is like at the top where all the seeds are. So I went ahead and cut some of that off while I was dicing up the jalapenos for the pico. As you guys can see, I took the top off, and then we're going to go ahead and dice that up and put it in the bowl with the tomatoes. I also diced up another jalapeno, but I am going to reserve that for the queso itself. Okay, boom, put the jalapeno to the side, and we're gonna go ahead and dice up 1/2 of this red onion. And then I did use just under 1/2 of that red onion. Go ahead and get that in the bowl, and then we're gonna go ahead and dice up some cilantro here. Can't have fresh pico without fresh cilantro. And we also are going to use juice from 1 lime as well. And just go ahead and squeeze both halves of that lime over top of these veggies. Well, technically, I guess a tomato is a fruit, but it's giving veggies. Go ahead and squeeze the lime over the veggies, y'all. And then we also need to just go ahead and hit this with a little bit of sea salt before we toss everything together. Okay, so now we're about to go ahead and get into this restaurant style queso. This is the easiest queso you could ever make. Honestly, the skillet does all the work. Go ahead and put a can and a half of coconut milk into a cast iron skillet or whatever kind of skillet you have on hand. I just recommend cast iron because it just does what it does. But I use one full fat can of coconut milk and one light can of coconut milk. And then we're also going to toss right in that jalapeno that we diced up. We're also going to go ahead and put in a can of green chilies. I tried to keep it cute, not put too many in there at first, but in the end, I used the whole can. So just put the whole can in there. Also, we need to hit this with some cumin. I put a little bit in here, but I also came back in with a lot more towards the end just to give it a little more flavor. So just go ahead and get that cumin in there, and we're going to go ahead and stir this up and let it come together and heat up before we add in our cheese. So just go ahead again and let that heat up. Let it simmer until some steam starts coming up off of there. And then we're going to go ahead and hit it with the cheese. I'm going to show you the cheese that I used in a second. Okay, boom, here's the cheese. So I'm using this Forager Queso Fresco. I used the whole bag of that. And then I also come in with almost maybe like 3/4 the bag of some mozzarella cheese just to give it a little more cheesiness and a cheese of a different flavor. I really was looking for some plant-based pepper jack cheese. So if y'all have some plant-based pepper jack near y'all, I would recommend using a whole bag of the Queso Fresco and a whole bag of pepper jack cheese just to give it a little more a little more flavor. But you know, this is what they had in my Whole Foods, so this is what I went with. But we're just gonna go ahead and give that a nice stir, toss it all together, and then that's it. You just let it go low and slow until the cheese mixes up. Stir it occasionally so nothing gets stuck to the bottom and everything, but honestly just let it go low and slow. Come back, give it a nice little stir, and help break up those cheese shreds, because you know, vegan cheese, it does take a little bit more effort to get it to be melty and melt it down. So just make sure you're stirring it occasionally. Boom. So it just starts bubbling, coming together. Off of this footage that I didn't show, I came back in with the rest of those chilies. I also came in with some more cumin. It just needed it, okay? And then I also put in a little bit of sea salt. I think there is a clip of me adding that, but you know, season it to taste. But the cumin, the chilies, the jalapeno, everything just gives it what it needs to be giving. So just go ahead and keep it low and slow and keep mixing it until it comes together. And then boom, you have some Mexican style queso, but the vegan way, okay? Now we're gonna go ahead and prepare our meat, which I'm using this chorizo. It comes in a long tube like a real sausage does. So we're gonna go ahead and use the whole pack of the chorizo. I went ahead and put it in a pot, or you guys can use a large skillet with a little bit of oil in it. And then we're just gonna go ahead and cook it through until it is heated on through and well done. I do season it with a little bit of salt and pepper. And I also added a teeny bit of adobo just to give it a little bit of extra flavor, because you know, you gotta have the flavor. So just go ahead and cook it through. So here I came in with the sea salt and the black pepper, and then a little bit later on, I didn't have the clip of it, I put in some adobo. That's optional, everything is seasoned to your taste. So, but the adobo gives it that little bit of extra that you need. Now we're just going to go ahead and assemble everything together. Just go ahead and put some tortillas in a hot skillet. Again, I'm using my little baby cast iron. I love cast iron, but you can use whatever kind of skillet you have. To help the tortilla get more brown, I do come in with a little bit of oil, and that just helps it brown up. I like to heat one side of it and then flip it over and heat the other side, so that as soon as I put the ingredients on the first side, everything's already starting to melt and come together because it's hot, because I cooked it already, if that makes sense. So, just go ahead and cook one side, flip it, and then put your ingredients on top. I'm using that queso that we made. You guys could use, shredded cheese, but I just think the queso just helps give it a little more flavor, make it a little more melty. And that's it. You just assemble everything, let that tortilla get hot, fold it on up, and that's it. It's super easy. Now, what I will say is I cook a lot with my hands when I'm cooking for me. You can see me putting my hands in the skillet, folding everything up. If you are prone to burning yourself and things like that, I wouldn't recommend it. I don't recommend, be safe. Just use a spatula. But for me, I just like to get a little hands-on when it comes to, doing my thing. But that's just me, so just make sure you be safe, okay? But it's really easy, really simple. All you have to do is brown that tortilla. Everything else is already cooked. Just let everything melt together and come together, and boom, you have some fire chorizo tacos. When you put in that little bit of oil and that tortilla starts cooking, it does puff up a little bit. Just press it down. It's not a big deal. That just lets you know it's cooking, okay? And then again, we just went ahead in with that queso that we made, and then that chorizo and a little bit more queso on top. Fold that baby up, and you have a fire chorizo taco. Super simple, super easy, and too bomb, okay? And as you can see, when some of the ingredients start trying to slide out the front, I just scooch it over and just cook everything in with the edge of the cast iron skillet. So that just helps lock everything in and give it a nice little crispy, cheesy edge on it as well, which I think is too good. Okay, so let's go ahead and assemble. Everything is ready, and I'm telling y'all, that's the easiest meal y'all could ever make. Go ahead and put some of that queso in a bowl, and we're gonna put some of that fresh pico that we made on top of there, and some of that chorizo right into the queso, because it just gives it that little oomph that you need. I'm gonna serve it with some fresh made tortilla chips that I got at my local Tom Thumb. But you guys can use whatever tortilla chips you have, whatever, or you guys can just, dip the taco right in there and just use your taco as a chip. I did that in some of the later clips, as you will see. You know, that's good too. You know, whatever you feeling. And that's it. I'm about to dive right into this real quick. A little bit of that queso. Eat a little bit of these tacos. I do, again, use my taco as a chip, baby. Dip that taco right into that cheese. Too bomb. And that's it, y'all. I really hope y'all give this a try. If you do plan to give it a try, go ahead and let me know in the comments below what you think about the recipe. Let me know. Give me some feedback. I really enjoy you guys being here, watching and engaging in my videos. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next time.